Hey, welcome back to Patina Garage. I've got to be honest, I'm keeping a little bit of a secret, and I've got a confession behind door number one here. Well, there is actually only one door, but the shed contains multiple cars. Not everything I've got is patina. Don't get me wrong, I love patina, and that's certainly the direction of vehicles that will mostly be on this channel, but this one, not so patina. It's dirty, not a barn find. Looks like one, but it's not a barn find. Just because they're dirty doesn't mean they're barn finds. But this one, when it's clean, it's got a bit of shine. It's good from afar, but far from good. So, yeah, let's just show you what it is. So behind me, it's a 1976 HX Coupe. It's not officially badged to Monaro, but it's 2024. We accept a lot of things, so I think we can call this one here a Monaro in today's terms. If you've got old cars, you know exactly what I'm about to go through. This thing hasn't been started for about 6 months, so there's going to be a whole lot of faffing about, pandering, patting, nursing, just to get it to buck off, bring some fuel up to the carby, then hopefully run and idle. It's a required knack, and you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've been here before. It's bloody annoying. You just want to jump in them and drive them, but you're your own worst enemy because you let them sit for so long. But anyway, that's enough talking. Let's get in. Let's start this 1976 HX Coupe, take it for a little stroll, show you what it's got, and then towards the end, hiding another secret. And that's what's going on with this. Let's get into it.
Okay, so we've made some progress. Battery's connected, it's ready to go. Throw a bit of sauce down its yap. See if we can get it to fire off. Fingers crossed it doesn't give us too much grief. That didn't give us half as much grief as usual. Actually thought about it this time, put a fresh battery in it, had it on charge. Normally I come down here and have a jumper leads or second batteries. But yeah, we'll let it warm up. Let you have a listen to what she sounds like. Then we'll take it for a quick drive. And you can see the not a barn find I was talking about. Alright, back again. She's warmed up. Let's give it a couple berries. Let you have a listen. Nothing too crazy. Twin 2-inch exhaust, standard manifold, no H pipe or X pipe, so each bank runs on its own exhaust, and yeah, there's no crossover. Like I said, nothing too spectacular, just a nice, clean V8 note, but that's going to change soon.
This is the circus that is all of our lives. I was going to remove this out, but I thought a bit of comedic relief, me trying to drive over the car lift, and then the wind blowing the camera down before you even get to see the car on a side-on view. Typical.
it is, out in the heat, brisk 38 degrees. So as I was saying, this is not a barn find, but when we get up to it, you'll see that it is dirty and dusty. It's not neglected either, so don't call child services on me. It's just been parked in a shed for 6 months. They cake up with dust, unavoidable. Nothing you can do about it. So this isn't a review, this is more of a, this is what we're going to do with this HX Coupe. Perhaps HX Monaro moving forward, I don't know, we'll decide. See what the audience says. So here we go. Dusty as. You can see all of that. Was washed only about 6 months ago. It's been sitting in an enclosed shed since then. Covered in crap and debris. Can't get away from it, it's just how it is. If you know, you know. But anyway, let's jump in, take it for a quick drive. We'll come back. Then we'll talk future plans. Review on this, that'll come later. A couple episodes maybe.
So, in the driver's seat. It's just a nice place to sit. There's nothing too crazy going on in here. It's got all the creature comforts you need. Aircon, aftermarket cruise. Can't complain. Starts up nice when she's warm. Also gets warm. That's a later conversation. So yeah, these were no powerhouse at all back in the day. Especially by today's standards. Apologies, you're just going to have to ignore that beeping for a second. I've pulled over and it's starting to get a little bit warm, just to set you guys up. So, as I was saying, it's no powerhouse, you know, it's just a comfortable cruiser. These were the luxury model, kind of like a Statesman. And that it is a nice place to sit and drive in. But this isn't a review. I'm not going to get any further into that in this round here. Electric windows, can't complain. Just going to take it for a quick run. Hasn't been driven for a while. Get all of its juices flowing. Just wanted to bring you along in the cab, just so you can have a bit of a look and, yeah, get the ambience. Shame it's so hot and this thing won't shut up with its beeping. There we go, we got there. It's currently cruising along at 100. Still at 2,500 RPM. I'm not going to push it any harder than this. Temperatures on the highway, perfect. Doesn't get hot at all, but just does not like idling, sitting still. So tells me it's probably a radiator issue more than anything else. Not too concerned, live in the country, but all of that will change. I don't actually drive this very often. I've had it for 13, 14 years, something like that, and not even put 3,000 kilometres on it. So every time I do get in it, it feels something special, kind of like the first time every time just about. And that is part of the reason I'm doing what I'm going to be doing to this car. It doesn't get driven a lot, so when I do drive it, I want to enjoy it more than I currently do. And with some tasteful mods, nothing that can't be changed back, I can fit that bill. And it can be exactly what I want it to be. Although these age well, and it has plenty of creature comforts, it's just not a modern car. I walk around the road a bit. The feel isn't there. Like, these give you a feeling, and it's a better feeling than driving a modern car. I'm not going to get me wrong. Like, not going to get me wrong there, but it's a different feeling, you know. Like, a modern car feels like a proper passenger space, whereas you really feel like you're driving something like this. You're connected to everything. You can feel it. The noises, the sounds, the smells. It's all there. Well, that's all the drive that I wanted to take you on. Just wanted you to have a little taste of what this is. Hopefully have you coming back to more. This is going to feature on the channel quite a bit. I may as well sort of let you know what I'm planning to do, I guess. Why not? So it's going to be a build series, but each modification and individual part that I do, I'd like to get out and do a test to show you how it's changed its performance or characteristics. So that way, if you're looking to do these mods yourself at home, it's all going to be done at home on my own as much as I can. You'll know what to expect from a similar modification. You know, basically you should get a similar result if it's like for like or very close to. So yeah, that was all. It's got a wheel back into home here now, and yeah, we'll talk further about the future plans. Just about to put it back in the shed. Here's a up to temp hot idle. Gets a bit crisper, a little bit deeper once she gets warm. Don't know if that's all exhaust or not, but I've definitely noticed that this one the most out of all the cars I've got. But yeah, there she is.
Alright, well, I think I mentioned earlier that I was going to show you what was under the hood of the LE, but there's no real sense. It's one of these, a stock 308. Nothing crazy, just a Holden 308 stock. Putting out, when I dynoed it, 135 kilowatt, standard Rochester carby, absolutely bone stock. I don't think I can say stock again, but I'm sure I'll fit it in somewhere. But this is what we're going to. I'm not going to go through the specs and the details yet. That'll come in a later episode where I start breaking down what we're actually doing exactly. But this is the 355 stroker. So from a standard 304 block, this is a later block. This is out of a VN, so a fuel injected model, but it's got a carby setup. Stroked out to a 355 with a scat crank. I'll bring you in for a quick look. I'm not going to show you too much detail. 850 mechanical double pumper, ASR sump, double row timing chain. Have started pulling a little bit apart before I started the YouTube journey here, so yeah, sorry about that. You're not going to be able to see me pull off the harmonic balancer and the front timing cover. Nothing to really show, but I did want to have the two motors, so that way as I'm showing you bits and pieces, I can show you standard to aftermarket. And why, when you're building an engine, this is the way you want to go. I didn't actually build this engine. I purchased it built, but it's a very low, maybe 100 kilometers on the motor and dyno time, and that's it. Like I said, details and specs, I'll tell you more later. So for the rest of the car, rebuilt 10 bolt 355 gears, turbo 400 factory in the HX LE coupes, Monaros. That'll be getting shift kitted, new drive shaft. Gonna remain mechanical fuel pump. Have thought about this a lot. Gonna stay mechanical. Gonna stay away from the electronic fuel systems at the moment. If I put a drop tank in later, that's when I'll go that way. But up until then, increase the diameter of the fuel lines, high HP mechanical fuel pump. I'll bring you over, have a quick look, see what I'm talking about. So I'll give you just a quick glance of what we're working with. It's the 850 double pumper, it's a Holly. I'll tell you more about that later. It's not just a standard Holly. MSD ignition. This is where it was built. If you know the company, I have had a bit of hate thrown at me and told that it's gonna bloody self grenade. But anyway, the person I got this motor off, he had another one built at the exact same time, over 60,000 Ks of reliable performance. So I'm not worried. I think this will be fine. When I go into the details of the build, you'll probably understand a little bit more about that. It is a high quality build. It hasn't just been slapped together. So any fears will be allayed. I would hope. ASR some. All painted black. I think that's going to change. I think I'll end up going red, because that's what would have been in this LE at the time. But yeah, that's her. I can't show you too much around the shed because there's another project in here that I don't want to give away. First is your standard 308. Would normally be running a Rochester up here, 4-barrel. All but standard. Virgin ball, this one hasn't been touched. It's not the actual motor out of the LE, obviously, because we just took it for a drive. But yeah, apples and oranges. If you're keen to follow this build, it's not a full build, it's obviously just a drive line. The body on this is not perfect. It's got work that needs to happen. I'll show you that, but as soon as you start diving into that, it then doesn't become a driver. And I want to be able to drive this, I want to enjoy it. I don't want to worry about the odd stone chip or anything like that. So I don't want to go and spend big dollars on paint and tidying up, you know, everything that needs to be done. I just want to get it running reliable, comfortable, and enjoy it, which is what these need. They need to be enjoyed. I don't want a trailer queen, definitely not. So yeah, follow along, like and subscribe if you can, please. It's always appreciated. Many projects to come. I do have another, which will be a full build. Thanks for following my journey. I appreciate it. Can't be doing it without you.